Hello and welcome to today's The Last Week Ahead video. Now in today's The Last Week Ahead video, we'll be taking a look at two stocks. I'm taking a look at Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited and I'm taking a look at Axis Bank. For both of them, I look at them by FNO plus by equity so as to share my trading plan on both sides. But before we go into all of that, let's take a look at the news which will affect our market this week. Now on the news front, basically the first news I believe which will affect our market is that the Russian oil plus 100% tariff news. So that sort of brings again a stumbling block for our market, as you will have to adjust to the fact that yes, most likely the government will end up listening to Trump and not bothering with Russian oil to avoid the tariffs, and that will end up having a knock-on effect on our markets and on the Indian economy. Then the second news to affect our market is on Friday. After quite some time, the ministry officials plus SEBI and all ended up meeting with foreign portfolio investors, and that's a bit of a positive sign as they're finally deciding to meet and sort of try to figure a way out over the current rut which has happened in FPIs and everything. So that's a positive, and the first is a negative. Then the third which will be is the usual, which has been going on for weeks now, months, not even weeks, the Hormuz issue, as again Iran and America are again talking deal, no deal, as Iran last night published a list of demands in America as usual to prevent their market to opening badly today, the futures. They've said, oh, we are near to a deal, which everyone knows is a fact that is not true. So that these three factors is what will affect our markets this week. So anyone trading should pay some attention to them. Now let's move on to Bharat Heavy Electricals, after which we will take a look at Axis Bank. Now when we come to Bharat Heavy Electricals, we see that the stock has been trading in a range for some time now, as it entered a range in basically beginning of May, 6th May roughly, and it has been relatively sideways since then. However, the reason I focused on it now is the sideways zone is sort of narrowed, which means it's going to give a bit of a directional move to one side, and then after that it may get a follow through. So how I am taking a look at it, as long as it is between the low of this price bar and 423, this is now the mini box range which has formed as the whole stock has gone and sort of compressed into a range. If it breaks out of 423, it goes to 438 and 450. On the other hand, if it breaks the low of this price bar, 387 and 365 opens up. However, how the chart has formed and the pattern it has formed in this zone, it is pretty clear that most likely the breakdown will be towards the downside. And even if we'll take a look, the trend catcher is basically the black line has gone below zero and is starting to turn that way. If the red line follows, then we'll be touching 365 in no time. So my trading plan for BHEL is going to be pretty simple. If we break the low of that price bar, then I'm going to short it with the first target of 387. If we break 387, then I go into positional short it for a target of 365. This is until 387. I'm going to treat it as an intraday trade only. Once it breaks 387, then I will treat it as a positional short with a target of 365. And how I will short it is most likely going to be a mix of futures plus option sells. So if it breaks 387, I will most likely go and sell calls of 390 and above or 400 and above, depending on the chart pattern at that point. So I will earn through the premium collection for quite some time, plus the futures trade will give me the immediate hit to 365. So that way you ended up segmenting your profit and making it in both ways. So most likely that is what I'm going to be doing with BHEL, because I don't see it having the strength to really go above 423, as any move anywhere above 423 should not really be considered, as you're going and fighting through a lot of resistance. And if you really want to only trade a long trade, there are many stocks out there which are better than trying to do a long in this one. This one is more of a short, and I think you should try to follow the pathway which it is showing rather than try to create your own in this stock. So that's it for BHEL. Now let's take a look at Axis Bank. Now Axis Bank has been having a pretty rough time. If we take a look at the chart, we'll see that basically it gapped down, and this was when the results came out. It gapped down, went down, tried to go back up, and then it's starting to go back down. So what's my trading plan now? Going ahead with the stock. Now going ahead with the stock, if we take a look at it, my trading plan is pretty basic. That if it breaks Friday's low, my first target is 1225. If it breaks 1225, it's broken a very, very important support. It'll be going down to 1208 and 1190. On the other hand, as long as it is between 1225 and 1266, this is sort of a mini box range. So this is where the plan has to be segmented into two. Like I said, for BHEL, there's a portion until which I will trade intraday only, and a portion I'll go into positional. So until we get out to 1225, this is going to be purely an intraday trade for me. But once it breaks below 1225, then it's a positional short for 1208 and 1190. The reason I will only keep it between above 1225 as intraday, as 1225 to 1266 is a box range. So within that range, there's going to be up and down moves. Once it gets out of that, then you can go clean short in it. By fluke, if it ends up having an upside move, then it breaks 1266, then it can go up to 1295, after which it will again have to readjust and find some balance. So how am I going to trade Axis Bank now? Axis Bank, as I said, until 1225 I'm doing intraday. If it breaks 1225 in terms of positional trading, I'll most likely only trade it via CE sells and not futures or option buys, because I believe this will be a slower move. It won't be that dynamic. So futures will not make sense. It will just make sense to go via option sells, make some money from the premium and exit it. So that's really it for today's video. If you liked it, then hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.